on here again, folks. This is Georgian Bay, W.F. Baird and Associates. They were the engineering firm that worked for Mary Ritter's group up on Georgian Bay that I was involved in. I was asked to go into the study. I went down there and I turned over records to them. Unfortunately, I turned over a lot of records with them on Lake Erie that unfortunately Mary still has. I'll have to try to get them back. You might need them someday. But this study goes into the dredging, especially up there, the bridge area. And this is where the original rapids were before Sardian Port here. And it was the rapids that controlled the outflow of Lake Huron, Michigan, that in the early part of the 1900s were dredged out. There's now 65 feet of water measured in through here. Tremendous flow of water. Where we get into problems here with the dredging and with the studies done on the channels is one thing. But here you go through a delta. The delta is a mud bottom. And that can be cut down and does get cut down, deepened by the current. Back in 1874, there was an engineer named Edson. He was on the South Channel in New Orleans. Corps of Engineers proposed a canal in this area, and he said, no, he said, I can deepen it. I don't have to dredge a canal. They went around back and forth with the government, and he had gone to Europe, and they found out they put jetties out, deflecting the water to where they wanted the channel done. And he finally got the contract, and he went in along the bank, and he took the willow along the bank, and they made jetties out, forced the water out to where they wanted the channel, and guaranteed they'd get a couple of feet by next year. As the channel increased, it kept cutting the mud bottom down and down and down. And he made the contract, and he made a lot of money. And that's what happens in the Delta, all the different channels when you look at the maps. The maps are entitled, and you can see them, they're all in your documentaries and the different files. And you have the Delta on the original channel on the east side of Fighting Island and Detroit River. That's all the same. I measured these channels where it busts out into the open and the lower up the lower flats. I measured 38 feet of water. Now it's hard to believe, but that just keeps cutting. That was a 21-foot channel. That was the original Canadian channel. The main channel now for shipping is a man-made channel. So you have the two main channels feeding Lake Erie. You have a tremendous amount of water that's not properly metered. If you went up to Wallaceburg, Ontario, you go through Lake St. Clair, and you're heading towards Mitchell Bay. You say maybe a mile offshore, and you come across a little island with a house on it. Behind that is what they call Johnson's Cut. And that goes up through the marshes and into Wallaceburg. I was watching the depth meter as we got through the edge here, because we were pretty shallow going in, and the depth meter fell off to 65 foot. So it gives you an idea of what this current does and how much water is really coming through around the system. Interesting read.